It is June 27th, 2026. I told you yesterday in Dutch Valley Restaurant, Officer Mark, Officer John, you need to get this surveillance. There's a lot of bad people in there. Thank God Carl can't hear her in busy settings without his hearing aids. Thank God. You have to speak up for him to hear. He had skin cancer. They had to cut part of it out of his ear, and then it drained in there, and then they had to dig it out, and it damaged his hearing. Because he misses a whole lot of fucking shit. And I didn't want to run it for him yesterday, nor did I want to scare him. We're in Dutch Valley Restaurant. Do you remember in 2018, December 9th, 2018, I went to Bob Evans to meet Darlene for pie. There's a big, huge, 6 foot, almost 7 foot man, huge like a lumberjack, scrunched down, bald, white, long red beard, black square glasses, sitting with a crazy blonde lady. Okay? And then there's 4 men off to the side. And he's like, I'm Karen's handler. Those are my men, easy boys. And one's waving at me. He said that one's a big Karen fan. Watch this. Karen and Dave in bed for hours. She's like, I'm a psychiatrist. She's not a psychiatrist. She's a dingbat. She would walk around. If she tells Dave Peter, we'll say she hurt herself. So I don't mess with me, bitch. Seriously, don't mess with me. I taped Dave several times admitting to beating me. She'd say something else stupid around me. I'd go get my own witness. I thought, don't play with me, bitch. I'm not in the mood for you. She was a middle-aged white guy. Middle-aged white lady with blonde hair. Okay. Okay. She, those 4 white guys admitted in January 19, where it should be December 21st, 18. I was stabbed in the neck, bashed in the head, beaten, raped, and left for dead. That they were the ones holding me down during the attack. Dixie seen him in Maslin follow me, the white hair guy with his hair parted on the side. The other ones. Okay. She's seen him follow me in Maslin several times. It's that not funny. Yesterday in Dutch Valley Restaurant in Sugar Creek, there's that white lady with blonde hair. After we got done eating, she's talking to a lady in the hallway. We go, Carl goes to the bathroom first, and I'm sitting down on the sofa waiting because I have our drinks. And there's a guy over in the other section towards my right of talking. They said it's some guy named Pete Dave hired on his own having people do this to her. Okay. Well, I see those 2 ladies from 18. I go to, when it was my turn to go to the bathroom, I walk by. Well, we found out what the jail sentence would be for Will if he ever tried to file anything for the tape of We're with yourself, the shower scene in the other room. Yeah. Okay. Before that, we're in, sitting down in a booth. There's like a half wall. You can't see over it. So they can't see me on the other side. My phone is tapped by the FBI and police with a court order. Officer Mark and Officer John has admitted they have listened to conversations while I'm talking. Okay? In different places, and that my phone's tapped. Okay? They listen through my phone. I went out to eat with an officer once. He said, is your phone tapped? I said, maybe. He said, does the police have your phone tapped? I said, maybe, kind of, sort of. I wouldn't confess to a crime around me. He started laughing. He said, boy, did that take care of a lot. You know, anybody ever watch FBI on TV? Where they tap somebody's phone and they have somebody go in and get someone to confess to a crime, and they watch them and tape them through their phone. I have all that technology. FBI informant. Okay? So they have all this on tape with a court order. Okay? We're sitting there. There's a girl. I can hear her on the other side of the wall. No, she can't see me. She said, I'm the one they're actually stealing everything for. It's my family doing this. Okay? And they're stealing for me. And she said, I heard she really let herself go. How much weight she's gained. Nobody would want her. It's like, fuck you, bitch. Now, Carl can't hear her because it's higher tone pitch. He can't hear. And in a busy setting, thank God. But my phone's sitting right there. They have cameras there. Okay. She said, I found out the guys that we hired to watch her, those drug dealers we have watch her, that they photoshopped her washing in the shower to make her look weird with herself. And I laughed. She said, you know, this is my family doing this. And because we found the doctor from before, you mean the one that's not one of mine works for them and they had lied? The scam from Bill from the Freemasons? Of the dirty doctor? Yeah. And since we found that doctor from before, no one's allowed to help her. Okay, lying to this lady. That nice car across the street was one of our drug dealers. We told him make sure he don't say anything. Oh. I was watching her sleep the other night. Psycho bitch. She was just acting like her leg went out of place. I have degenerative joint disease, you nitwit. And then she's like, I seen that picture of her feet turned in. She was just standing that way. No, my feet actually weren't like that. Even when I stood with them together, they still turned in. I was born pigeon-toed. It was real bad when I was little. And it causes degenerative joint disease. That your joints wear up. Your knees slide out of place. That's why it's important. I walk all the time, get the muscles tight so that they don't slide out of place. That's where I had extra fluid. They would slide out all the time till the muscles tightened up and the swelling went down so they wouldn't slide out of place. I had to keep having them drained. That's why they put me in braces, because they would just slide. Well, I work midnights and I don't sleep real well. And I was so exhausted the other day. I was sleeping on the couch. Carl has been so upset over everything. He still gets, where he used to sleep 4 to 6 hours down in Magnolia, he's up every 45 minutes to an hour. I have to sleep, and there is a point in time I'm exhausted. So a lot of times I just curl up on the couch where it's dark and it's quiet, and he can get up and down all night long. And I was so tired, I rolled towards the couch. I didn't move for hours. Didn't even roll. Well, when I woke up, my leg was out of place. You talk about excruciating. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move my leg. I took everything in me to turn over, going, it was horrible. And then I took my other foot, pull the blanket up, grab my pajama pant, pull my leg up and put it on that pillow. And then I tried to take a breath for a minute. It still wasn't back in place. And I had to take my other leg and push that blanket up higher and just lay there for a minute, and it went right back into place, like it always does. And it was excruciating. The back of my knee still hurts. I have MRI reports where when I had the medical malpractice medication errors. I had the swelling under my knees, swelling in my legs, fluid filled cyst formed beside one, and tore muscles along the side of my one knee, and I couldn't even bend it from the tore muscles because I'd so violently fall, it actually tore the muscles. Okay? And it shows the degenerative joint disease. Okay? And but that bitch admitted to stalking me in my home. Huh? And with her saying that it's her family doing this. Okay. 6 months before the case. About March, April of 2018. We were selling our house and buying a new one. We're getting extra supplies. We have to pack up a whole house, a few extra little repairs. We're busy. Okay. Running around. We had errands to do that day. Dave said, I want to eat at this one restaurant. We never ate there. I said, Dave, we never ate there. I really want to eat there. I said, Dave, we've never ate there. He said, Karen, I really want to eat there. He insisted. We go in. There's a couple by the window. Restaurant's almost completely empty. There's an older couple. They set us by the older couple. An older white guy with a white hat and an older lady. A white blonde girl, 1,800 pounds, maybe 115, walks by in khaki pants, a t-shirt, long blonde curly hair, walks by going at me. Sits down, boom! Does he think it's funny bringing her here? I said, Dave, who is that? He's like, I don't know. Boom! In the back of my booth. I said, Dave, who is that? He's like, I don't know. And then the older couple starts talking about Dave by name. I said, Dave, who are those people? They seem to know you. Boom! She knocks me forward. I said, Dave, who are those people? He's like, I don't know. And she rams me again as hard as she can till I hit the table. And he's like, are you okay? I said, yes, who are those people? He's like, I don't know. I said, do you want to leave? He's like, Karen, we've already ordered our food. And I said, can I sit over there with you? He's like, yeah. And I go over, he wraps his arms around me. He said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, who are those people? He's like, I don't know. And he's going like this at him, giving him like a death stare. We got home. He told Danny, he said, some crazy blonde girl was ramming her body in the back of Mom's booth until she got hurt. And she had to sit on the side, my side of the booth. I said, I've never seen her before. I've never seen people, that old act that bad. Okay. 2019, 2020, FBI case. These people were part of it. I'm in Wood Forest. Sitting down waiting for a banker. Okay. Up walks that same girl from the restaurant. Khaki pants again, t-shirt white, 100 pounds, long blonde hair. Comes up and says, as if you don't know what's going on. Walked off. I thought, I've seen you before. Where did I see you? And who are you? Took me months to remember. I've lived through hell. You're the girl from the restaurant. The older white couple, the guy. Do you remember the older white guy who always wore a white baseball hat, had glasses, white hair, older lady? Said of the three mean parents were waiting for me to die for my injuries. They were sitting with her 6 months before the case. It's her, isn't it? I went out to eat with Sheriff David Mike DeWinscusin a couple times. He said this girl, Michelle, that your ex-husband was dating while you were married, she's got daddy issues. I said, daddy issues? I thought gold digger. He said, well, that too. I said, then what do you mean? He said, for her to find enjoyment in hurting you. He said, he said, she's got daddy issues. He said, it's one thing if a man cheats. And it's another thing when the wife don't know he's cheating. And the girlfriend that she don't even know about has people hurt her. She's got daddy issues. I said, what do you mean? He said, her dad had to rape her repeatedly as a child and make her pure evil. He made her into who she is because it's not normal mentality. Normal mentality, she would never touch to. But for her to find enjoyment in having you harmed, and you didn't even know about her, she's got daddy issues. He's raped her from the time she was a child on. He said, and he made her pure evil and into the person she is. It's a study in prisons and jails of these women that hurt other people for enjoyment. Their fathers raped them as children until they became pure evil. He made her into who she is, that she finds enjoyment into hurting you because he hurt her. I looked up young white, it come up white, what was it? Young white serial killers that go into celebrity status. They are all psychopaths. They're self-absorbed. A psychopath does not have in their brain, if they do a scan on it, they do not feel sympathy, empathy, or remorse. They can't feel sorry for you. They're the born serial killers. They only have a happy, joy, excitement, and and anger with no consequences. They could kill you and only be mad they got blood on their hands because it's everything to enjoy for themselves. That's all they care about is themselves. They don't care about nobody else. Okay? And they don't feel sorry for you. You're the roadblock between them and getting what they want. They have no human compassion. They also are sadists, where they find enjoyment hurting someone, and they have child abuse in their past, where Sheriff David said it's a known psychological study of women in jail that hurt people. They don't know. And it says female serial killers that go in to celebrity status all are psychopath sadists and were abused as children. Okay. And that they harm people they don't know. And they do it for profit. And some of them do it for a sexual high of hurting another woman. Okay, a couple years ago in Louisville, I was out walking the park. There was a girl, a lady involved in this. She reminds you of Abigail Watkins, Portage County Prosecutor Office. She's like what I could see off of her from a distance, like 40s, 30s, 40s, maybe a little more. I didn't get real close to her to see her face. She has a dark hair, thin, dressed nice. She's involved and wore glasses. Okay? She's involved. She was mocking me. Dave's girlfriend walked right by her in a restaurant and she didn't even know who she was. It's funny, she didn't even know her. Why was that funny? He was cheating on me when he was supposed to go to work. He's supposed to be working overtime. That's not funny, idiot. I told you that girl even was laughing that they're doing everything for her and there's her family doing this in Dutch Valley Restaurant. And it's for her to get everything. They're stealing for her. It's that blonde girl in it. The one from the restaurant. It's her, isn't it? I haven't met her yet. It's her, isn't it? Now, I want you to think of September 30th, 25, 1 o'clock in the morning, a biker bringing her down. Yelling at her at 1 o'clock in the morning. The guys running it said no one's to say a word to her again in her life. They found out this whole thing was your family's dad to drug dealers. Is that what's going on? Yes. Does she even know who you are? No, I don't want her to know who I am. She doesn't even know you and you had her raped and tortured, her skull bashed in because you were in debt to your family was in debt to drug dealers? Yes, I'm sorry. Listen to her and her friend Matt talk January 13th, 23, that the Ohio drug dealers were threatening that agent's life for all those people be human trafficked. And it was your family letting them be human trafficked because your family was in debt to drug dealers and your family even human trafficked children or human trafficked people to pay back those drug dealers. Yes, I'm sorry. She admitted to serial killing. She admitted to serial killing. And she said, and it's your family that incited her new husband's family to threaten his life to take his farm. Well, I really wanted it. I liked it. Like, it makes it okay. Because she don't care about anybody but herself. This idea? Psychopath. And he said, did you know the original cartel in 23 admitted that they already photoshopped everything on her? Yeah, I knew that. Did you know that they confronted her ex-husband that it was medical fraud, medical malpractice, medication errors that made her sick before, and they encouraged them to sue those doctors for years? Yeah, I knew that. Okay. That is Dave's girlfriend, isn't it? The one from the restaurant in it. And see, that's where Agent John, some serial killer walks in your office. Walks in your office. I want you to think about this. A serial killer walked in your office with a drug scam. Because what else did Matt tell me? That it was a drug scam from the drug dealers, human trafficking people. Like people said, some drug cartel guy thought he could scam an FBI agent. You're kidding. No, he walked in his office with a scam. You knew it was a scam, right? Because they made fun of you June 7th, 23, how they fooled you. Called you a coward August 5th, 25. You're a public brag how they have you in their pocket. And I already made dirty comments at home about that one. So, Agent John, you knew it was serial killers walking in your office, right? It was a drug scam where they told you they had the right to drug me, they were using sodium pentothal on me, that it was hypnotic drugs. on me and drugged me up and told me to say it, right? You knew the tape of Weird With Yourself was photoshopped or washing in the shower, like that girl yesterday. We found out the drug dealers they hired to do this to her were photoshopping washing in the shower. Oh, they were only making fun of her. Oh, where they beat me in my stomach, left giant bruises, and they had me so drugged up I thought it was the orange well water I was showering in. I thought it was toxic, giving me cancer. And I have large pouching in my stomach. They almost ruptured my stomach. They induced vomiting and lost 70 pounds. My stomach shifted on my ribs. Where she had 3 drug dealers torture me. Or where they stabbed me in the neck, bashed my head in, beat and raped me and left for dead. That's her way of making fun of people. Or having men repeatedly rape me and human traffic me. She thinks that's funny, right? Right? Just making fun of people. Yeah. But she even admitted yesterday, those drug dealers they hired to do it were photoshopping washing in the shower to make her look weird with herself and laughing. Yeah. And then she tried to pull the dirty doctor scam. Now, we're going to put, everything these people say, all you have to do is put, what is the jail sentence? And it comes up federal crimes. Federal. If your doctor is seen with an opposing attorney, talking about your medical information without a signed consent, picture ID, it's 10 years. Automatic federal prison, HIPAA. Your doctors can't talk to any of them. That's where the doctor from before was not one of my works for them, and they had lied. Of course they lied. Repeatedly already confessed to that. And Dave told Danny April 16th, 23, when he went to him, asked him, what on earth is going on? He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in her home before. Pete has her framed. Pete has her taped the filthy, dirty statement. Not a doctor. Some man I've never met. That's where I want to know. Is he the one they call Henry Maffey? Is he? Because I've never met him in person. Like he said, January 1926, where Carl and I were dancing around the car to MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This. Pissed him off so bad he came in and confessed. I don't know him. First of the case, Instagram account, some guy called Henry Maffey, he sent me a message, I think you're beautiful. It's like, thanks. Something about love on the beach and something else. I don't know him. Okay? People talked about him in stores later on, and then people that said they worked for Judge Peters were from Florida. And he's driving. I see a guy looks like him driving with him. I don't know him from Adam. Okay? People hadn't even talked about him in years. I thought maybe the cops got him and he took off. Alright. He comes in. He said her dancing around the car like a little kid with her new husband. The officers only watch her for the case because they feel sorry for her. I thought they liked me and there's a court order. He said, I'm the one that sent those messages online to her. I thought you look like that picture, but thinner. He said, I proved she was cheating. That's not me cheating. You're a weirdo. I don't know you. He said, and I tell all men she's not good enough for another man. And I thought, fuck you. You wouldn't have got a pity date. Ugly as a horse's ass. He said, and I'm glad I never met her in person. Okay? He said, I'm the one that told her new husband's family that I'd steal everything for them. And I found out his son was down there vandalizing stuff on the farm. Told him to stay out of it. He said that I'd steal everything from them. You can't steal from people. It's extortion, nitwit. He said, I found out the other Michelle's telling on us for what we're actually doing. He confessed. Boy, is she telling on you, bitch. March 27th, 25, an agent was dating part of the group, another Michelle, real pretty. He had broke up with her when she confessed to him that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. She actually don't know who he is. And when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. And as soon as she told him, he broke up with her. He had got it out of Dave that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory. And she'd have free insurance to use. Half my medical records are some other ladies. We tried to fight it, but back then you didn't have to show ID to start seeing a doctor. They didn't start that crap till after 2000. 5 or more. People used to have surgeries on other people's insurance, and until something went wrong, they didn't get caught doing that stuff. Well, we tried to fight them, but since you didn't have to prove ID, couldn't prove it wasn't me. And half my medical records are some other ladies. And it's like some crazy lady stole your the company's information using your ID to run up medical bills. If I don't pay it, they'll put me in jail. I was 18 and stupid. What is your problem? I'd never cheat on you, Karen. And here it's him and another girlfriend scamming me. Half my medical records for 15 years are apparently his ex-girlfriends. That guy said he had got it out of Dave that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory, and she'd have free insurance. And he could give her extra money. And he got it out of that family. Why are you running around telling people that it offended you? It was 6 months later when Strange made up that lie, and she didn't have anything to do with that accident. And said that they were all lying to the FBI. Didn't even concern them. Lisa's father killed her kid. They were all lying to the FBI when they were in there to help him get away with it. March 20th, 26, Walmart West House. I still have it by the electronics. Another agent that's been working my case. He's been in there since 18. He's in there talking. He said, I haven't found any of this funny since an FBI agent showed up in my office a year ago and said that family that was telling everybody offended him, Strange calling her a faker back in 03. That they were all lying to the FBI when they're in there, that it didn't even concern them. They're all lying to the FBI. And he said, I found out Strange hated the government. No wonder he tried this with us. Okay. My God. There were so many bad people in there. It was ridiculous. Some guy where they said that Will guy is running a scam. If she doesn't say anything, some guy can ask her. I found out she's married. He said, that's dumb. Well, he started that in 18. Who does he think he is? Then you got to think. When I found out they were doing that, I used to go up and tell people, first thing in the morning, my ex-husband beat me. They'd laugh and walk off. I'm not going out with serial killers, human traffickers. You end up dead that way. Then you don't want to go out with some nitwit that some serial killer's running a con on you and that you're helping out in it. It's like, get the fuck out of my face. See what I mean? Well, that Michelle that told on him for that doctor from before not being one mine works for them, and they had lied. Carl seen her have a meltdown April 17th, 25 in Hartville, screaming it in a parking lot when she told that guy that he broke up with her and how much she really liked him and she wanted to marry him. And she's having this little girl meltdown in front of everybody. Well, they threatened to kill her. April 24th, 25, the Texas group up in Summit Mall, real loud, yells out, you tell that guy Will here that was full of scam off to join us, that it's all run, because that other Michelle told him that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied.
Carl cutting the hay today?
I don't know what he's doing.